So guys, we're at a garden called Time is a Healer, and we have the gentleman who designed it here called Martin Wilson. So Martin, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind the garden?
Okay, the garden's for Primrose Hospice, which is in Bromsgrove, just south of Birmingham, and it's designed for counsellors to bring children into the garden who have lost their parents to maybe cancer or another illness.
Right, okay.
It's based on a clock face, so hence the Time is a Healer.
Yeah.
And you'll see we're sat on this central installation here from a Herefordshire artist, and these are representing the hands on a clock, and then around the outside, laid with the stone, we have 12 slabs that represent the time on a clock.
Okay.
We move around the garden, we're looking at the emotions of bereavement and how the counsellors talk to them. So in the back corner here, we have quite a dark palette of heucheras, phormiums, ajuga, but with just pops of colour coming through that are just about anger and perhaps this emotion of why me?
Yeah.
Why has this happened to me? We then move from there to this corner over the other side, where we've got a whole mix of colours. So this is about confusion and do I move forward, do I move back, how do I feel now? And then as we come to the front of the garden, moving around the clock,
It's a lot lighter then, isn't
that's
it?
it, yeah, it's lighter, it's calmer, so hopefully you've come to accept what's happened to you, and that's why we have a white palette and greens and lime greens. And then the water feature over here, obviously it's white, but it's got a black pool in it, so you can stare and think about your thoughts and your emotions again.
Reflect
on what you've been through.
Yeah.
We have an inscription in the centre here, which is from a chap called John Muir. And in essence, what we're trying to get across is the idea that if children are in gardens and they experience nature, they can then perhaps realise the cycle of life and death and deal with that perhaps a little bit better. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I have to say, you've done a superb job. It's absolutely
very much.
Brilliant. And again, we could see, what each structure was for, or each corner of the garden was for, and it looked brilliant. I have to say.
Thank you.
And I really want to thank you for your time and taking with us. But for you guys who are looking to come to the RHS Malvern over the next few days, I urge you to come and see this garden. It has really been well thought out, and it's pristine. There's everything has its place, and everything is in its place. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
It's actually very, it's completely cool.
Here we've got another garden, and it's been created by Peter Dowell at Howell Hill Nursery. Peter, can you tell us what the inspiration was behind this?
Yeah, the inspiration here was we've got this fabulous backdrop of the Malvern Hills, and the garden's called Reflections of Japan, and there's a design technique which the Japanese do called shake, which is borrowed landscape. And what I wanted to do really was to explore this role with the garden in the foreground. And what we've got here is a contemporary twist on the traditional Japanese tea house.
Yeah.
And then using a mix of contemporary stone and rock. This is Foresterdene,
Right,
and
okay.
what's amazing for me is that the rock that we're using comes from exactly the same quarry.
Right.
So, say 6 months ago, they could have been 3 meters apart, and then this is the rock as it comes out of the ground, and this is after it's been what we call six-side sawn.
Right. Okay.
But you're looking at a rock that goes back 350 million years.
Yeah, beautiful.
Amazing.
So
This
nice as
rock
well.
has turned into that.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Good Lord.
So if you put this through a saw system, that's how it would finish. And the other thing, of course, is that with the Japanese garden, we've got, at the nursery, we're just passionate about plants, and it's a great place to bring the plants, get them to
showcase them.
Yeah, a bit of plant choreography going on.
Yeah.
This one going with that one, and colours, and so it's great.
And it does look beautiful. You've done a fantastic job.
Throw some water in, and it's
Throw some water. There's a fair bit of water there, isn't it? Can we have a wander around it with you?
Yeah, of course you can.
And so if someone wanted to do something similar to this at home,
Yep.
how would they go about starting this?
Is sketchbook out, scribble some ideas, not to feel daunted that I can't do this, because once you've understood the principles of how a liner works, the shape is up to you, isn't it? So that's so as long as you're getting that right, the shape of the pond, the size of the pond, you're just then looking at how that balances in your backyard. The technique we've done here, again, simple. This is just sawn log rounds, cut into different levels. We then set them into a haunching, so the liner sits in behind them. We bring the rocks to there, so you've got a nice, dry, crisp edge. And then, but before you go near the liner, the flame gun here, we've just charcoaled them, so make sure you do that one first before the liner
or
is
you end up in a boggy garden.
Yeah, exactly, or you have your bog garden sorted.
You're really starting off with your pond, aren't you?
You are,
and then you're building up around your pond on the theme you want with your Japanese plants and things.
And if saying on the shacker, if you do have a slither of a view of a lovely tree at the end of the garden or something you want to pick up, is you set the design around that and then work backwards from that.
If we can just have a little wander around,
Yeah, of course you can.
and tell us why you've done what you've done at certain areas.
Oh, right, you want some- yeah.
In fact, is that okay?
Yeah,
2
yeah.
seconds.
Yep. Yeah, so this stepping stones through to here, introduce this rock as a seat, so it works as a great focal point.
Right. Okay.
Which was developed as we went along. We got the knee height just right, didn't we?
Perfect.
Hey.
Especially for
And this is a bit of an added one where we're getting the rocks to go through as stepping stones.
Yeah, that works well, doesn't it?
But it's great. I mean, if you're doing water, big like this, you want to get in amongst the action.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to, get close to it. And then down to the tea house. Which is,
It's very crisp here as well, then, isn't it? It's very crisp lines.
Yeah.
Really nice.
which is
It's
and
very
very
pretty.
minimalist.
Yeah.
But we're using cedar here, and the black, works as a really good accent. And we've repeated that on the
Why do you
detailing.
use cedars? You find that would better?
Traditional. Yeah, that's
Traditional,
that's
is
a
it?
traditional one. It's a lovely medium to work with. We do work a lot of cedar in our jobs anyway, so it's good to show customers what you can do with.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
Yeah,
get that
it's beautiful.
beautiful scent.
Yeah, I
don't you?
was going to say it's beautiful.
Smells
It's really
roasted,
nice.
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. And I like the stepping stones and everything. It's
Yeah.
a fantastic garden. Well,
I'm going to walk out.
Peter,
first.
I want to thank you for taking the time to take us around.
Pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Happy gardening. Gardening's all about
It's about getting everybody involved, isn't it?
Enjoying it, and
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Carry
Cheers,
on.
Peter.
Yeah, I know. I walked over here and they all.
Hi, so this is the Woodcutter's Garden and I'm with Mark and you're the designer of this garden. It looks fantastic. It's
Thank you.
something I really quite like actually. Tell us about it,
Yeah, it's
how did you get the concept?
well, the Woodcutter's Garden is based on my book, The Woodcutter's Story.
Okay.
It's about my life to date doing RHS shows, highs, lows with a happy ending.
Yeah.
I decided to write the book, 3 years in the planning, 1 year thinking about it and 6 months writing it. And somewhat close to me is the book profits go to cancer research.
Oh right, okay. So the profits from all the book,
Yeah, it's the Woodcutter's Story, and all profits go to
cancer research. That's fantastic.
My-
Brilliant
my-
cause.
My main emphasis was build the garden, promote book sales, support cancer research.
Fantastic.
Try and ask for it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get this on the website for you guys so you can have a closer read of that. But
Lovely.
go and support Mark. Like I say, all the profits go to cancer research. So excellent cause. What I really like, and it sort of struck out straight away, is the way that you've used sections of timber to make like a paving around the outside of it. I
Yeah.
think that's absolutely ingenious.
I'm an ethical gardener, and I like to use and recycle as much as I possibly can. And using sustainable products gives so much back into the garden.
And not only that, obviously, as these timbers break down, they're going to feed the soil, which is going to feed the plants, and you've got almost like a whole ecosystem going on here.
Yeah.
And I love this. I think that's just great.
Thank you.
I know my little one would be love to be hiding away at that if it was down the end of the garden.
It took 6 months to build.
All built by hand, no doubt.
Yeah, with help from students at Western College, Southwest Skills.
Okay.
And it's going back there after the show.
Fantastic.
So,
Mark,
no,
lovely.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
All right. Lovely. All right. Cheers.
Brian?
I'm Trevor.
Hello, Dave.
Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Trevor. We've just come through here and I've just stopped because I've seen this planter. I mean, I've got very, very small ones at home, but nothing like this. Can you tell the viewers basically a little bit about what this is and what it does?
Yeah, right. Okay. This is a garden tower, and the key feature of it is it has a wormery down the middle. So as its sign says at the top there, your kitchen scraps go down the core.
Yeah.
You put in composting worms, and that produces vermicompost in the core like that. And then that core is perforated, which means that the worms have access to the whole root zone, the whole plant system like that. And it creates a very fertile growing system.
You put a food source for the worms in the centre. The worms have got free movement throughout the whole structure, and obviously they're going to enrich the soil as they go.
That's right.
And there is obviously that main food source there. Yeah.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Then you water and all your fluids drain down. So the watering's quite easy because you can water just from the top.
Is this for an
That's
automated
a
system?
watering system.
Right.
We actually I have an example running with a dripper system like that.
Yep.
Which works extremely well. That actually works off a solar irrigator.
Oh yeah.
But that's that's a sort of an optional extra, as it were. But primarily all your fluids drain down through it, and they end up in that drawer at the bottom, which means that you can then take those fluids and recycle them back.
Basically, or worm tea or worm juice. Yeah.
That's right.
In here.
Yep. And it can be diluted as well by with a bit of excess
and
irrigation.
what about the sort of the height of this thing? Is that full height, or can it go higher or lower?
It can go higher, yes, but you need to have access to be able to put your scraps down there. So you don't want to get it too high.
About the right height.
Yeah, we find that that's pretty much the right height.
And obviously this is great for like herbs, strawberries. You've got flowers, violets.
That's right. It rotates for ease of access as well, and so that you can turn your plants to the light.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that would work really well in like a corner.
That's right.
So every day you come out and give it a quarter of a turn, and everything's going to get a fairly even.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we think it's ideal for people with patios or balconies, restricted space. Pretty much, it's a mini allotment on a maybe a third-story balcony.
And very easy to maintain, as you say.
That's right. Yeah. And you can also harvest. You pull that out, and you can harvest the vermicompost down into the drawer as well. So you can also utilise that elsewhere. So in fact, it's a little vermicompost production system at the same time.
If someone wanted to buy one of these, I mean, is there a website?
Yes, the website, gardentowerproject.co.uk, and they're available on the website.
Fantastic. All right, well, thanks very much for explaining it to us.
Well,
Brilliant.
Thank you for stopping by.
No, thank you.
Great.
Well guys, as you can see, it's been a really busy day. It's been glorious weather, and we've found loads of brilliant things to see and loads of brilliant gardens. What about your wow factor, right?
Yeah, greenhouse. Still the greenhouse. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's just so much, it's almost overwhelming. The flowers were fantastic, the colours, the smells, everything. The sunburn,
You've got a lovely golden brown.
I've burnt to a crisp. I've got sun cream. Bring sun cream, all right? Because you catch
What I
it.
will say, guys, Malvern is a massive show, and you're probably not going to see it all in one day. So if you can get here for multiple days, it's great. If not, then I would suggest you get yourself to the gardens and things like that first, and then go and see the stalls and things second. Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so, because that's the essence of the show, really. There's God knows, hundreds of stalls selling all sorts of wonderful stuff. You name it, they're selling it, and it's great. but do get to see the actual gardens. I mean, there's people here. We was talking to one guy. He spent the last 6 weeks building this garden, and you can see why.
This is whole life.
The effort has gone into it.
Yeah.
And they really appreciate your comments as well. So if you do like a garden and you can see the creator there, let them know. You know, it really makes their day.
And if you've liked this video and you know, and you do come up to RHS, tell the guys here, tell them that you like the video that UK Young Grows done and what have you, because it does help us.
Yeah.
You know, it helps us to be able to bring these to you. Anyway, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
We're going to be heading home now, so we're going to pack everything up and we're going to be on our way. So you see this from us now over the next few days, and it's probably going to be in 2 parts. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye for
Bye.
now.
Ta-da. You can say bye.
Bye.